me just share my screen. Okay, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you. So, well, hindi naman ganun kahirap yung exam nyo. All of you did a great job, okay, in your midterm exam. So most of you got a high score. So I think walang problema. Okay, so to be honest, I would like to confess. Okay, I would like to confess that I made a fatal flaw. Okay, with the arrangement of your uh, parang topics that need to be discussed on these emerging technologies. So supposedly, okay, yung nakikita nyo sa screen nyo ngayon, dapat pala inuna ko to. Okay, so ngayon lang kasi ako nakaisip ng project. Actually, nung nakita ko yung DevOps, oo nga pala sabi ko, supposedly I introduced this one first to you guys before the cloud computing. Okay, why? Because as you guys can see, this is a like methodology. So obvious naman dito meron tayong cycle. We plan first, we code, we build, we test, we release, deploy, upgrades, and then monitor, and then going back from the start kapag meron na ulit bagong project. So that compose the development and then the operation or IT operation, or in short, we call that one DevOps. But since we don't have enough time anymore, okay, so ito sana yung mangyari, hahatiin ko kayo per team. Okay, like my plan was to divide you guys into 3 teams or 4 teams. So there is a total of 44 or 46 students in this subject. So parang divided by 4, parang magiging 11 or 12 each group. So parang ganun sana. So one team will develop and then another team will check like parang quality assurance, and then yung pangatlo magde-debug, and then yung pang-apat is parang tatry sa mga different I'll say different servers, like for example Linux, good ba siya sa CentOS, good ba siya sa Kali, ano pa ba yung mga Linux servers, yung mga yon. So good ba siya sa Apple, sa 32-bit na Windows 7, Windows 8, 64-bit na ganito ganyan. So ganun sana. Okay. But since parang 2 weeks na lang tayo, okay, as you guys can see, the examination date is August 3, 4, and 5. So it would be too harsh for me to give you guys a project. Okay, like this team will develop, of course, mag-code sila, magde-develop sila, and then i-build nila, and then ibabato nyo sa isang team, and then sila yung magte-test, magde-debug, etc. etc. So parang isang class sana, okay, all of you guys will create a one system. Okay, but since wala nang oras, so hindi ko na kayo bibigyan ng project. Okay? Well, anyway, so yun lang sana yung parang gusto kong ipagawa. Well, anyway, since wala nang oras, at least nasabi ko na dapat yun sana yung gagawin natin. Okay? Well, unless you guys are still willing. Okay? Like, ang iniisip ko kasi kahit hindi nyo matapos ngayon, okay lang. And then, once na natapos na yung buong project, then, yun, may completion naman. Sa ako na lang ibibigay yung grade nyo. Will that be okay to you guys? So, okay lang kapag tumanggi kayo kasi kulang na nga rin sa oras. And then, ayun, so nagkamali din naman ako.
Probably not, sir.
Okay, what about the others? What about the others? What are your opinions, guys? So one more thing, hindi naman ako magpapa-require ng super hirap na project. What important is ma-apply lang yung methodology kung ano yung nandito. Okay. So gusto ko makita kung paano makapag-interact itong 10 members na to sa another 10 members into another 10 members. Parang ganun kasi yun eh. So ito yung goal nito, dapat ito lang. Yung goal nito, ito lang. Okay. So dapat hindi sila makikialam hanggat hindi pa naibibigay yung trabaho sa kanila. So gano'n, parang magkakaroon ng cycle kapag pag may error babalik sa development team, kapag okay na then puwede na sa deployment team, tapos, ite-test nila sa mga different, servers et cetera, et cetera. Well, okey sige, 'wag na nga lang. Okey. Well, anyone, kung meron ba anyone who would like to, do a certain project? Ka-count ako, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I guess, really none. But anyway, so, i-discuss ko na lang yung concept na ito mismo, but, the thing is you won't be able to apply this one anymore. Okay, pero bibigyan ko kayo ng maraming scenario para mas ma-imagine niyo siguro kung papaano kasi, ultimo, sa building phase and then testing phase parang, eto pa lang, matagal na 'to, okay. So, hindi siya, parang, basta-basta na kapag nalaman mo na, okey ito yung testing phase, okey ito yung building phase, okey ito yung coding phase. Hindi siya gano'n, okey. Maraming maraming mga parts kung anong ginagawa ng coding, anong ginagawa sa building, anong ginagawa sa testing, and then, 'pag nire-release na rin, okey. Anyway, so without a further, delay, let's start now with our discussion for the, DevOps. Okay, so let's start with Agile project management or the Agile development. So most of you, I know that you guys already know this one since this has been already discussed by your instructors from other subject already. So ito yung parang pinaka most common na methodology na ginagamit sa computer engineering kasi ito yung the best sa let's say for customers. Let's say for 1:1 or 1:5 customers or 1:10. So let's say for small projects. Okay, so meron tayong planning, of course, designing, develop, test, and then release, and then feedback of your customers. Okay, so parang mag-iterate lang siya na mag-iterate. So as you guys can see, we have 2, 4, 6 steps in here in Agile development. But in here, we have like 2, 4, 6, 8. So parang sabihin na natin nanggaling yung idea ng DevOps dito sa Agile. Nadagdagan lang ng monitoring and then operate. Okay, so may nadagdag lang ng konti dito. Well, anyway, so let's just recall what is Agile. So Agile project management focuses on continuous improvement, scope flexibility, team input, and delivering essential quality products. Okay, whatever we have in here, we also have that one in DevOps. Okay, and then Agile methodology is a modern, flexible approach to project management. It allows you to break large projects down into more manageable tasks. Okay, so ito naman, good pa rin naman siya hanggang ngayon, though meron lang mas bago. Okay, of course, ah, kung ano yung bago, yun yung mas na-improve. Yun yung parang mas maraming, let's say, features na mas okay sa ngayon. Okay? So parang in-improve lang yung Agile, okay, into DevOps. And then today, Agile project management methodology is used by software developers, construction companies, educational organizations, and even marketing teams, and many organizations can benefit from Agile project management, and it's simple to set up and utilize. Okay, so even though it's three members only in one team, you can apply this one. Like 1:1. One is for coding, one is for testing, and then one is for quality assurance or quality check. Okay, and then agile development is an umbrella term. So as you guys may already know, we have more specific agile development, which is the Scrum, okay, Kanban, Scrum Kanban. So that is under agile development. And then we have scaled agile framework, and then we have lean development, and then the last one is extreme programming or XP. Okay, so I will not discuss those anymore, but the idea here is something like this. It's just that they have their own edge over the others. Like if you're into a website, so this one might be better rather than this one. If you're into
Yung headset.
let's say a system with hardware, so this one might be better other than the others. So if you have a larger projects, this one might be better rather than the others. Parang ganun. Okay, so balikan niyo na lang kung ano yung mga parang edge nila sa isa't isa. Okay, kung ano saan sila nag-excel, ano yung mga disadvantages ng mga uh, methodologies na to. Okay. So let's now dive into the definition of DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is a two-word wherein dev is development, okay, and then ops is operation, okay. But mostly when I see dev, it's software development only, okay. Hindi siya nagde-develop ng hardware. So you could say that this is super good when it comes to a website. Well, anything that comes with codes, okay. So dito pumapasok yung development team natin, okay. So in short, it's dev. And then the other one is ops, but we call that one actually IT operations. So dito napapasok yung napakaraming tools na ginagamit natin. Okay? So let me just give you a short scenario. So hatiin natin sa tatlo. So never mind the drawing. And then nandito yung dev natin. And then nandito yung ops natin. Okay, so bago ma-deliver sa ops to, meron pa tayong QA actually dito or the quality assurance. So of course sa dev, dito sila magde-develop or actually meron pang planning piece dito pero parang sinama na rin siya sa dev. So sa dev natin, so nandito papasok yung mga tools na ginagamit natin like anong uh, editor mo, like for example, Visual Studio, okay, ano pa ba? Mga ginamit ko dati. Well, any editor that you can think of that you can use to edit a code. Okay, so yun, Visual Studio kasi yung pinaka-common na ngayon. I think lahat pwede na sa Visual Studio. So this is super flexible. You can code here Java, Python, React, okay, HTML, CSS, anything. It's like nandito na lahat, kompleto na. Okay, and then dito naman sa QA, dito napapasok yung parang customer's need. Yan. Ano ba talaga yung parang gusto ng customer, dapat ba ganito yung mangyari, dapat ba ganyan, ganyan, and so on and so forth. So kapag approve na dito, ito, approve na, dito na papasok yung operation. Okay, so parang after ma-check, okay, magkakaroon pa tayo ng further checking. So parang combine to actually, kaya parang ganito sana yung setup, pero hinati ko lang sa tatlo. Parang combine din to, itong QA and Ops, kasi parang iisa lang sila ng goal. Okay? Parang after ma-quality check, okay, kung ano yung kailangan talaga ng customer natin, dito na talaga yung parang debug, okay? Di-debug nila ng marami. So meron tayong tinatawag na tools, okay? So itong tools na to, ito yung continuous integration, continuous ano pa ba, checking, napakarami kasi. Anyway, pupunta tayo mamaya doon. So, sa tools na to, meron tayong automate checking. So, one good example of this one that I've heard na ginagamit nila ngayon is Jenkins. Okay, this is where you can parang upload, okay, your project. So, doon i-build mo, okay, and then i-test mo. Okay. Or parang compiler siya actually. Okay, pero ang pinagkaiba lang, automated siya. So you can automate check it 100 times, 1,000 times, uh, 1,000 times, or even 10,000 times. So ganun. And then ipapakita niya kung ilan yung failure, ilan yung success. And then kapag pasado siya, let's say 95% ng pasado, okay, depende kung anong standard ng company, then saka lang siya made-deploy officially sa market. Okay? So, parang ganun yung nangyayari. So, parang pipeline to na development muna, quality assurance, and then ops na to or IT operations. Anyway, so we'll have more examples on when it comes to ops later on. So dev, medyo simple lang siya kasi yun yung ginagawa natin initially. So parang sabihin na natin front end. Okay, I think na-imagine nyo lahat yung pagdating sa dev. Pero sa ops, marami ng tools na papasok. Which is, even me, hindi ko pa nagamit ng iba. Okay, yung iba nga parang bago pa lang sa akin. Meron pa lang ganito and so on and so forth. Okay. Well, anyway, when we see DevOps, this one aims to shorten the system development lifecycle and provide continuous delivery with high software quality. Okay? So, kasi dito sa atin, parang normal lang na development lang, develop, and then i-check natin sa compiler natin. Once lang, pag walang error, kapag gumana, okay na, ganun kagad eh. Pero dito sa sa DevOps, may practice tayo na dito sa operation. They will test it 100 times, 1,000 times, okay, using an automated uh, tools, okay, or an automated software. Okay. Pero meron din naman kahit papaano, let's say, nagbibigay din sila ng parang beta testing. Okay. Hindi nga lang sa ganun karaming tao. Let's say, they will ask maybe 20 persons, okay, to do a beta testing. So gagamit talaga ng tao, hindi yung computer mismo or hindi automated. Okay. So DevOps is complementary with Agile software development. Several DevOps aspects came from Agile methodology, just like what I mentioned a while ago. Okay. So from an academic perspective, Len Bass, Ingo Weber, and Yiming Zhu, so 3 computer sciences researchers from CSIRO and Software Engineering Institutes, suggested defining DevOps as a set of practices intended to reduce the time between committing a change to a system and the change being placed into normal production while ensuring high quality. So, pagdating sa talagang pinaka-definition na parang kung saan sila parang nag-come up or na-finalize. So, according from these 3 people, okay, ito yung mga computer sciences researchers, okay, from CSIRO. So, this one is a practice. Okay, so maliban sa sabihin na nating methodology siya na pwede nating i-apply, this is also a practice nowadays, especially in big companies. Okay, so ginagawa nila tong practice or mindset na dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. Okay, so bakit? Kasi sa isang company, let's say, sa development team, meron tayong hundreds of employees. Sa testing team, meron ding 100. Okay, so parang gano'n, okay? Pina-practice nila na dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. Hindi yung parang, let's say, yes, meron tayong development team or developer, di ba? So, dapat iisang department lang sila. Okay? Usually, sa isang company, gano'n lang, iisa. Pero sa mga big companies, since malaking ang company yon, failure is not an option. So, dapat lahat perfect. Dito pa lang, perfect na bago nila ipasa sa testing team. Dapat perfect na bago nila i-deploy. Dapat perfect na lahat, wala ng bugs. Okay? So, parang ganun yung nangyayari dito. Okay? Hindi lang siya basta-basta methodology na ina-apply ng isang department. Okay? So, parang nahahati sila sa maraming departments. Anyway, so yeah. And then we have here extended agile development. So the DevOps ideal extend agile development practices by further streamlining the movement of software change through the build, validate, deploy, and delivery stages while empowering cross-functional teams with full ownership of software applications from design through production support. So dito na papasok yung, let's say, build is one team or one department, okay? And then validate is another department. And then deployment team is another department. And then delivering stages is another department. So dito na papasok yung parang, let's say, 1 or 2 person will deliver the final product into the validation team or deployment team. Okay. So dito nagkakaroon ng conflict mostly. Okay? Kasi yung hindi naman porket let's say this team makikipag-communicate sila sa isang team, let's say ito sa dev sa QA, okay, lahat ng member ng dev makikipag-communicate. So meron silang representative or meron silang head department, okay, so head development team or senior nila, parang ganun. So itong senior nito sa senior nito mag-uusap. Okay. So dito pa lang parang sila na yung parang ito kasi magdi-discuss na to eh. Ito naman tatanggapin kung ano yung diniscuss and then itetest niya. Na tapos dito naman parang sasabihin niya na kagad, may kulang. Okay. So balikan niyo to. Ngayon, ang mangyari, itong leader na to, so parang pangit kasing ganun eh. Parang may kamali na. Okay. So mangyari niyan, sisisihin niya ngayon yung team niya. So, magpipinpoint na sila, bakit di mo ito nagawa, bakit may error to, bakit may napalambas kang ganito, di mo nagawa yung function, etc. etc. Okay, so parang dito, bago ipasa okay, yung project, magkakaroon na ng problema. Kaya, cross-functional teams is very, very important. Wherein, alam nila dapat kung kumpleto na ba talaga or hindi pa. Okay, working na ba talaga lahat or hindi pa. Okay, so ganun. When it comes to delivering your part into that certain project. So DevOps is an IT mindset that encourages communication, collaboration, integration, and then automation. So ito yung parang ine-emphasize ng DevOps na kung bakit nila kung bakit nila nalalampasan yung mga bagay-bagay na gano'n. Well, hindi ko na alam sa mga companies, pero says here that communication is super important. Laging dapat merong communication to this team, to that team. Collaboration, of course, to this team and to that team. Integration din, and then automation. So automation, I think wala namang problema since tools naman yung magte-test din. So wala lang sis yan. But when it comes to communication, collaboration, and integration, so this is very, very important. Okay. So among software developers and IT operations, in order to improve the speed and quality of delivering software. So DevOps teams focus on standardizing development environments and automating delivery processes to improve delivery predictability, efficiency, security, and maintainability. Okay? So kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, parang pina-practice nila 'to. Okay? So parang ginagawa nilang standards team nila na dapat ganito kung ano yung nakasanayan nating gawin. Ganun lang, okay? So, parang nape-predict na ng another team kung ano yung ginagawa natin, kung gaano tayo kabilis gumawa, okay? Ano yung parang pwede nating ma-miss, okay? And so on and so forth, okay? And the DevOps ideals provide developers more control of the production environment and a better understanding of the production infrastructure. Okay. So, this one seems quite complicated, pero parang ganun na nga. Okay. So, napaka-applicable na ito kapag big company yung pinag-uusapan natin, okay, when it comes to perfection. Right, so what are the challenges DevOps solves? So prior to DevOps application, development teams were in charge of gathering business requirements for a software program and writing code. Okay, then a separate QA team tested the program in an isolated development environment if the requirements were met and releases the code for operations to deploy. Okay, so I think ito yung diniscuss ko kanina. So development team will develop the code, okay, and then QA team will check if it's really good for the customer, and then Ops is the one that is in charge in more checking, and then of course finally deployment. Okay, nasa kanila yung final phase, kumbaga. Okay, so the deployment teams are further fragmented into siloed groups like networking and database. So each time a software program is thrown over the wall to an independent team, it adds bottlenecks. Okay, so ito rin yung isang bagay na uh, pwede nyo sigurong ma-imagine kung ano yung nangyayari sa mga team. So, search natin kung ano yung bottleneck. So, sa mga bumubuo ng computers, okay. Alam nyo itong ibig sabihin ng bottleneck. So, dito muna tayo sa literal na battle. So, let's just say that this is your, let's say CPU mo to. Okay. This area is your central processing unit. High-end yung CPU mo. And then, itong part na to is your graphics card. So, yes, your processor can perform really fast, but your graphics card cannot handle how fast your processor is processing the data. Okay? So, ang mangyari niyan, nababottleneck yung data or nalilimitahan kung ano yung kayang gawin ng isa mong component. So, vice versa yon. Ganun din. Pag masyadong malaki yung or mataas yung graphics card mo pero hindi naman kayang i-output ng CPU mo, then ganun din. Okay, magkakaroon din ng problema. So, in other words, parang ganito siya. Okay, the data is, napakalaki, pero yung CPU mo, konti lang, isa-isa lang yung kaya niyang i-manage, pero yung graphics card mo, medyo malaki naman. So, ang tawag natin dyan is bottleneck. Okay, so vice versa, kapag malaki yung graphics card mo and then maliit yung CPU mo. So, pag sinabi ko malaki, mataas, okay, or let's say high-end, magandang graphics card, or pag sinabi ko mababa, let's say, poor performance. Okay, ganun na lang. Kasi sabihin nyo, baka mababa yung presyo. Hindi lang ganun. Depende. Okay, may mga matataas din na presyo, pero mas maganda pa yung mababang presyo. Okay, so high performance versus lower performance. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to get the idea of bottleneck. Okay, so the same concept with DevOps. Okay, itong development team and then operation team. So for example, meron tayong, let's say, a total of 100 functions. So let's say we are creating a website and then it has 100 functions, okay, 100 functionalities. So of course, magkakaroon sila ng due date wherein ang due date ng project, okay, project website, is let's say 1 month from now. So of course, ipa-plan nila yan and then dapat meron silang parang timeline kung ilan yung matapos nila per day, in 1 week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, and so on and so forth. So most commonly, dapat kapag 100 function, let's say 1 week, assumption ko lang to kasi wala namang project na website na ginagawa ng 1 month unless maliit lang na website to. Well, when since sinabi ko dito 100 functions, so medyo malaki-laking website to, hindi lang siya basta-bastang website. So sabihin na natin in 3 weeks, dapat ang matatapos ng development team is at least let's say 90 para hindi na sila masyado naghahabol ng oras. Okay? So yun yung inaasahan ng ops at the let's say exactly after 3 weeks. Pero kapag ang nangyari niyan, nakulangan ito, okay, and then let's say ang na-finish lang niya is 50, magkakaroon na ng problema sa operation team. Okay, so bottleneck na yon or vice versa. So for example, ang kaya lang palang i-handle ng let's say in 1 week, ang kayang i-handle ng operation team kapag pinasa mo is let's say 20 functions. Okay? Pero ay, mali. Tama pala. Sige, 20 function yung natapos na lang, okay, yung natapos. Pero yung kayang i-handle, okay, ng operation team is let's say 10 functions lang. Let's say ito lang yung kaya nilang i-test after that time, okay, or within that time kasi may mga iba pang project siguro na ginagawa. Okay, nagkakaroon na ng bottleneck. So parang natatapos na yung development team pero hindi pa bumabalik kay development team kung may mga bugs ba na may kailangang i-check, may kailangang i-revise, okay? So, another bottleneck na rin yun. Okay, so dapat synchronize sila na dapat after 1 week tapos mo na to and then ito yung kaya namin i-test. And then after 2 days, may babalik namin yung report na meron kayong mga bugs, meron kayong mga kulang, meron kayong mga pagkakamali, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, yeah. That's what we mean by a bottleneck. So, yun yung isa sa mga challenge, okay, ng DevOps na ito. Okay? So, the problem with this paradigm is that when teams work separately, okay, just like what I mentioned ago, itong dev na to, isa tong team, okay, that is working separately. QA is another team, Ops is another team. So, mostly, let's say meron silang project na gagawin nila ng 1 year. Okay. So, of course, tenga muna tong QA and then Ops kasi naghihintay sila ng ibabato ng development team. So, mostly maghihintay sila ng 1 month, 2 months bago may maibato to sa QA. Okay. So, parang ganon. So, dito pa lang parang medyo alanganin na yung buong team kapag sumobra sila sa oras. Let's say, 1 year yung kailangan nilang tapusin project. Pero nakapagbigay lang yung, let's say, development team ng, let's say, functions or codes in 6 months. So parang wala nang ginawa tong QA and then ops team natin. So doon pa lang parang may problema na. So dapat alamin nila kung papaano ba, let's say 2 functions, 3 functions, okay, 1 module, 2 modules, okay, and then ipapas na ba kaagad and so on and so forth. Okay? So, yeah. Dev is often unaware of QA and Ops roadblocks that prevent the program from working as anticipated. And then QA and Ops are typically working across many features and have little context of the business purpose and value of the software. So each group has opposing goals that can lead to inefficiency and finger pointing when something goes wrong. So, parang ang pinaka-pressure dito, okay, is yung dev team at first phase kasi sila yung hinihintay. Pero kapag meron na sa QA and then ayun na nga, kapag sinabi nilang okay na tapos pinasa nila sa operation team pero may problema pa pala, okay, so parang magkakaroon ulit ng conflict dito sa team na to. Okay. Pero kapag dito parang na-solve na, let's say bumalik na kaagad sa dev team, pinarevise na kaagad nila bago nila ipasa sa ops team, then I think mas mabilis magawa ng solution. Pero those are just scenarios that I'm telling to you guys. So depende 'yon. Hindi gano'n yung nangyayari. Okay? So sinasabi ko lang yung mga possibilities. Okay? So pwedeng gano'n, pwedeng hindi. Pero most likely may possibility na gano'n yung mga nangyayari. Okay? So DevOps addresses these challenges by establishing collaborative cross-functional teams. Okay, so parang ito yung main selling point ng DevOps kung bakit magtatagumpay yung buong team sa paggawa ng isang project. Okay, they always have this collaborative cross-functional teams wherein meron silang meeting or scrum meeting every day maybe, every week. Okay, so laging ganun. Okay, ano ng progress, kamusta na kayo, baka may pwede kaming gawin. Pero mostly kasi kapag sa DevOps, walang pakialaman eh. So, kasi hindi nila trabaho yon, nakafocus lang sila sa job nila mismo. So, mostly talaga, hinihintay lang nila, okay, na dapat kami testing team lang, tetest lang namin, hindi kami magde-develop. Ganon din sa development team. I-develop lang namin, bahala kayo mag-test. Ibato nyo sa amin kapag may problema. Okay? That's your responsibility for maintaining the system that runs the software and preparing the software to run on that system with increased quality feedback and automation issues. Okay? So let me give you guys a scenario. Okay, so this is just a short scenario. So the dev team has a goal to ship as many features as possible and then kicks a new release over the wall to the QA team. Then the tester's goal is to find as many bugs as possible. When the testers bring their findings to dev, the developers become defensive and blame the testers that are testing the environment for the bugs. And then the testers responds that it isn't their testing environment, but the developer's code that is the problem. Okay? And then eventually the issues get worked out and QA kicks the debug new release over the wall to ops, and then the ops team goals is to limit changes to their system, but they apprehensively release the code and the system crashes. The finger pointing resumes. So ops says that dev provided them faulty artifacts, and then dev says everything worked fine in the test environment. The fire drills begin to debug the system and get production stable. The production environment isn't devs and QA's responsibility, so they keep hands off while ops spends all night fixing the production issues. Okay? So I hope medyo na-gets yung scenario natin. Pero yeah, parang ganun. Yung development team, they will just develop as many features as they can and then ibabato nun sa QA team, and then once it's okay, and then ipapasa na sa deployment team. Pero mostly, ang nangyari kasi niyan, meron tayong na-encounter na, let's say, okay siya sa development team, pero pagdating talaga sa testing area, nagkakaroon ng problema due to testing environment. Okay. So sasabihin nila, okay naman yung code namin, paki-check ulit, pero may error pa nga, tapos ibabalik. Okay din, sasabihin niya, okay nga kasi. Okay, wala nang problema, ibabalik niya ulit. Pero may problema nga dahil sa testing environment. Okay? So this testing environment is the key point when it comes to solving things. So dito napapasok yung iba't ibang server natin, iba't ibang dependencies, iba't ibang mga plugins, etc. etc. Okay, is it compatible or no? So parang ganun. Well, anyway, since we don't have enough time anymore, so we will just continue the rest on the part 2. So goodbye for now and see you guys on part 2.